it seems to jump up and down quickly in a wide range, and yes, it does. So,
Yeah, especially on the smaller time frames. So it actually is moving real time with whatever time frame you're on. So if you're looking at a 1 hour as an example, you can see that the 1 hour is, will probably stay in this range right here because it's measuring for the entire hour. And so right now you can see this selling going on as our ticks are getting a negative 1,000. Wow, what a reversal that was. What's going on with was there news on XOM? I mean, it on a 1 hour. Now look at this, guys. I mean, geez, you can't make this up. On a 1 hour, XOM is hitting its resistance. It's hitting its vertical trend line, and it is now reversing. And a 1 hour kind of gives you the what the breath of the morning is for that stock. Usually a lot of people take the first 15 minutes and then the 1 hour. Now we're not there yet. We're almost there. 15 more minutes. We'll see. But kind of interesting. Again, still negative 1,000 ticks. Let me get this.
and now it's just reversed on the 5 minute. A buy is 84%, about 100% buy.
God, you think this would just go down a little quicker.
Or up a little faster.
Yeah, you know what they say is, sell in May, go away. A lot of people go on vacation and don't trade during this period of time. And I think that you can see that when the market is, just moving. I mean, it's moving, but it's, the range is not very big. SPX on a 15-minute is hitting its channel resistance level and is selling off. So here's support. This is where I thought it was going to go yesterday. It's got some,
Jackie,
on a 5 minute, it has some support here.
This morning using CCI and got out in the red.
Hmm.
So,
That happens. What was he trading?
Apple.
And what happened? He got out when?
Jackie, she got in and got out in the red. So I'm not sure where she got in and out.
Let's take a look at Apple.
Okay, and in fact, Tracy wants to know, how do I add the market breadth label to my CCI indicator?
Oh, I'm going to post that. I'm going to post this update of the CCI indicator in the special TOS scripts area today.
And then Top Notch is saying that Apple is taking a dive.
Yeah. So my high on Apple was 149, and so if you would have gotten in at the 149.10, where would that be on the 5 minute? So, it's breaking here, and that next candle is going down. So it just, it doesn't break loose. So, just because you have triggers, right, on anything, if the market is in a range and is not, I mean, look at Apple. It's plus 19 cents. This is not the type of market to trade in. And so I often will say, if it's a choppy market, to go outside and enjoy yourself, because this will just take
Jack,
your money.
Could you let us know if you looked at the 5 and the 15 before getting in on the CCI, if there was convergence there, so you could see that? Do you mind answering that in the channel?
So at 6:45, it looked good. At 7, it did not. 6:45, it looked good. 7, it did not. So
Freedom stopped out of Apple call at break even.
okay. And
Jackie,
where did Freedom get in? Let's kind of take a look at that.
so Jackie, let us know what time you got in, and she looked at the 5, but not the 15. So in a choppy market, you might want to consider looking at both. Just toggle between the two and make sure that you're on track there. And Freedom, what time did you get in as well? Let us know your time frames, and we'll go back and do some.
I think Jackie would have had a problem either way.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jackie would have had a problem either way. CCI is above the 0, but it's high, right? We didn't get it. Even though it broke my trigger, by the way, I didn't get in it because the market is choppy. So, when you start looking at your watch list, for example, and things see now, so things are moving in a upward direction. Well, that was interesting. You see all the alarms go off? It's like, oh, what happened?
Chris, I know I saw something pop up with your name, like you had put something in, but I don't see it. These things on Discord kind of like flash across your screen, but I don't see that we did anything in the channel. So
Who's this?
I thought Trader Chris did.
Oh.
But maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, he posted something in the alert swing trades.
Ah.
Everybody, there's an alert from Trader Chris on the alert swing trades. And if I wasn't on the air, I'd be texting this out. So that's an interesting one. I'm gonna, just so you know, I'll have to.
I knew it again, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I didn't go up. I didn't go high enough.
Yeah, let's take a look at his trade.
All right. Pre-earnings play on ENPH. Solar is hot right now.
Yes, he's right on that. Cool. All right. So what do we got going on here? I like how he, showed you how the play is here. So he's buying several contracts. He's got conviction on this. So he's got a 220, a 230, and a 240 butterfly. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say that with a butterfly, he's really into it, so that he's minimizing his risk.
You're absolutely right. He's minimizing his risk by being in a butterfly versus a call. He's lowering his debit that he's paying. If he wanted to get, as an example, a 230, tell me how much a 230 call costs. For, what is this? July 8th. You're going to love it.
It looks like $9.40.
Okay, guys. $9.40 if you want to buy one call for July as you're making your game plan for a swing. And what's he doing? He gets that opportunity to profit, probably a good 4 to 1, by doing the same type of trade. It's only costing him $1, $1.05. And he's saying that this is going to go up to 230. And what he's did is he's bought 4 of the 220 calls. He sold 8 of the 230 calls. And then he bought 4 of the 240 calls. And all of those combined, because he's literally buying 2 sets of different kind of calls. He's selling 8 calls. That balance there makes his debit only $1. That's his total risk, is his $1. $1 for each of those contracts. So just think about that versus $940 for each one of his contracts. And he's giving himself some time. So he doesn't care if this thing just vacillates and sit there. He's basically earning income because he's sold the eight of these 230 calls. So he's actually making money as theta's burning. And it's a great play if you're bullish on solar. I like it.
I'll be in with you soon.
I will be in it as well. So I will post this as soon as we're done this morning. But you guys have a sneak peek at it right now. Just go into your alert swing trade. And by the way, when you get into a butterfly, the other thing that's good too is like if you're at work and a trade comes in via text and you missed it, an hour, half hour, even the entire afternoon. The way that a butterfly is structured, it's structured so that you have time on the play. And it's a directional play, but it's also a time allotted play. So you can always take a look at how much a person paid for the butterfly and, get in approximately. It doesn't have to be the exact same. As an example, this afternoon, it could be $1.50 and it would still be a good deal based on that $940 call. And the interesting thing, too, I always feel about the butterfly is that your risk is lower, you have an opportunity to make more, and even as a percentage, like on a long call or a long put, we often talk about, get out at 20%, get out at 50%, be happy with those profits. On a butterfly, you can usually, the standard on a butterfly in its teaching is, get out at 50 and get out at 100. And if you have multiples, keep a runner because that 100 could go to 400 because a lot of the butterflies are structured that you're getting way more reward than you are risking. It's a very cool play. All right. Oh, I'm excited to talk to him. Tonight is going to be about these types of plays. Oh, we have a big crowd here this morning. Good morning, everybody.
Meet tomorrow night?
What's that?
Did you mean tomorrow night?
Are we doing training tonight or tomorrow? I'm sorry, I got mixed up on our schedule.
It's normally on Thursday.
You want to keep it on Thursdays?
It's your call. If we do it today, then we're done for the week.
That's true too. Let's see what everybody else thinks. Put a 1 in the Ask Sandy if you like Wednesday nights better, or put a number 2 for Thursday nights.
Who's really paying attention right now?
Yeah, they probably just have us in the background. They're like, what are those crazy people talking about? Look at Apple. So Jackie and Freedom. So look at Apple. What a great, this is what I'm trying to express here. So, if you would have got in right at the gate, but of course the options would have been expensive. So you wait your 5 minutes and you get in, and then look what it's doing. It's not doing anything. But if you're looking at the CCI on a 5 minute, you barely, right? You would have got probably out here if it touched and you were not confident about it. And it's just kind of staying here. So when you have a market and you're one of your leading tickers that is directly correlated with SPY is making 72 cents. I mean, it's just like, and you're in a long call. That's just not where you want to be. Doesn't matter what trigger price you have. You could have the right trigger price, but if there's just no momentum and volume in the market, it's not going to take it to its next level. So I guess that's, the name of the game here.
Right. So it's a 5 to 3 tonight versus tomorrow night. but I have a little bit of bias because Michael Chan from Hong Kong is live with us right now.
Oh,
So
cool. And what did he vote for?
he's voting for tomorrow night.
Oh, yes. It's because it's probably, God, it's probably what, 3 in the morning there?
Something.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Michael Chan, for being here from Hong Kong. I know it's probably late where you're at. I wish the market was more exciting for all of us. I would love to do some scalping, just to get into something. But if a market in the, SPX, which, its average true range is, how much is it? Just curious. Oh, I don't have mine linked. Oh, yeah, I do. It's just a little slow. So the move today was actually suspected to be $30 plus or minus, and we're at 11 and moving slow, not really having that force and that energy.
Okay. I took a dive into the butterfly.
Oh, you're in?
Yep.
How much was your debit?
$1.10.
All right. And by the way, that's one of those trades where you put it on and you basically forget about it for a while because
Yeah, basically it's 30 days from today.
yeah,
So,
that's an income trade right there.
except for some of it, as soon as it gets to the 20%, I'm gonna start scaling off.
Mhm.
I just I'm paranoid about some things, and then I do stupid things like yesterday where I just immediately dove out of Amazon, and it's higher than it was when I got out. So
Yeah. It's hard to retrain, the way you've been doing stuff for a long time. And then sometimes it seems like when you want to actually change what's happening, then all of a sudden it goes against you and you go, "Oh, why did I do that in the first place?" And I
just like I
think go ahead. Go ahead,
go
Jay.
ahead. No, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, that happens, but having a system means to do it over and over again. So if that's something that you're really wanting to work on, maybe instead of 25, what's your average? You like to get out at 20?
Well, I hesitate because just like I asked Jackie if she looked at the 5 and the 15.
Yeah.
About 50% of the time I don't do it, not because I don't care. It's not ingrained yet.
Yes.
So and just like yesterday, instead of looking at the overall picture, I just thought, oh, well, I'm gonna get out because I don't know what's going on. And then this morning, I'm sitting here with CVX and XOM, and I'm watching the CCI religiously
Okay.
and getting down to where I'm ready to pull the plug, and each time it's pulled back up.
Oh, so it's keeping you
So
in.
it's keeping me in, and they're both very green. So CVX is 24%, and the one XOM that Chris suckered me into buying is now 159%.
Wow, that's awesome. And all that time the CCI has stayed above, probably on a longer term, or has it been moving around? I think on a butterfly you don't typically use that. Plus his play is for a longer term, right?
June 24th call, and it stayed in, and it will, we started off selling, and right now I don't have anything that I have sold against it. I bought back because it's just obviously in an upward trend. And
Right. And for those of you that don't understand calendars, you're really, the trade is on volatility, and you're just saying, that as an example, volatility is going to be higher this month than it will be next month. and you're selling because you make more money. Options are more expensive when volatility is high. So if you're an option seller, you're making more money. And so you sell the option this month and then you buy the option next month. And it's interesting how that ends up working out. And because they hedge each other, it's not one of those plays where you have to worry about it too much. The volatility of it smacking you and surprising you.
Right. And so what I had planned on doing was selling. I mean, I sold out of my June 10th 100 calls and at a good profit, and did not buy back in. I bought 104s for next week, and if we get if it ever does fall below, then at that point I'll sell the 100 calls just to and continue to stay in this.
Yeah.
Because Chris pointed out when we started that he anticipates energy is going to be higher during the coming summer as people get out and travel, that gas is not going to go down. So that oil companies will continue to do this.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm glad that that's working out for you.
Yeah, and Chris just said something. Let me get to his note here. For butterflies, as long as the trend holds, you should stay in. The secret sauce is staying in to earn the credit in the short strikes, and the longer you're in, the better the premium.
Yeah.
And he says this will help me with becoming more zen. So, thank you, Master. I need that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Chris, for the play. I got to post his profile up and stuff. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't have a margin account, get yourself one. You could still have your cash account, and you can get a margin account. Margin account is just like like a line of credit. You don't necessarily use it at all, but the brokerage house makes you actually have it. So you're not going to be using it. You just have to have a margin account.
And for those of you trading in IRAs, you can do butterflies and covered calls. Not covered calls. The calendar spreads and diagonals and things like that inside those types of accounts.
Yes, because all of those are risk defined.
Yeah, it's a risk defined account, so you can't spend more money than you actually have.
Exactly. It's a risk defined spread. So all of those plays that we're doing are all risk defined. Nothing is like naked where you have undefined risk. It's the institutions, where your retirement's at and stuff. They don't want you to be playing around with undefined risk. So these are all defined. So like as an example, that butterfly that Chris is doing, his entire risk is the $1.09, the $109 for each contract. So you know what your risk level is going in. And do you have to risk the whole thing? No, you could go down, 50% and decide to just close it out. No difference.
And Jackie says, are you looking at stocks that move over $1 to get in?
What is she referring to? I'm sorry, I missed the context.
It was like when we ran out, she got in Apple this morning.
Okay.
So, I mean, what kind of move are we looking for?
Well, I'm not looking for anything specific. I can read the chart for her. Is that what she was looking for?
Maybe let's just kind of, yeah, give her a minute. She's typing here.
Great.
And is anyone else going to vote on, do we do this tonight or tomorrow night? Ones or tonight, twos or tomorrow night? We're almost at a tie here, so we need we're at 5 1s and 4 2s, and we have a lot more than 9 people on this group.
So as I look at this, so she must have been nervous to get out because it barely broke that line, and it's still above it, and it looks like it's barely breaking here as well. So it's just on the line, and IB is
Okay.
low. Go ahead.
She said that you mentioned that Apple moved 79 cents, and that was not good.
No, what I'm saying is that when stocks are not really trending strong in a certain way, I don't like to trade when the market's like that. I personally do not like to trade when the market is not trending strong in a direction. So when I look at Apple at 61 cents, I don't feel like it's trending strong. But it did break the pre-market high on a 5-minute, which is a good sign. It also stayed above the CCI. It's just kind of riding that line right there, you can see. So these are all, now it broke it. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's your exit for Apple. Did that help with that answer? I'm not sure I feel like I'm not getting what she's saying.
Did that answer the question, Jackie? And guys, we've got about 20 minutes left here.
And Jackie, look at this for just a second.
She said that helped. Go ahead.
Yeah. When we look at something like this on a chart, it's just it's ready to make a move somewhere. But do we want to be in this with a long call or a long put? I don't.
No, there's no definite.
Yeah, we're trend traders. We're following trend. So, and you can see that it's really having a tough time breaking the 149.99 level right now. And that's what you would need to start seeing some, me to revisit that.
Jackie said that helped.
Oh, good, good, good. But, it's interesting to see though, right? That the CCI is just staying there. So I'm just curious, Jackie, did you get out right here? This baby break right there? And if you're still in, your premium is just kind of wasting away while it's just sitting there.
I think she mentioned earlier she got out. Let me go back and look.
Yeah, and so I guess I'm wondering, did she get out because this was broken, or did she get out because she saw a big red candle?
Okay. Answer it that way, Jackie. Please. She said, I got out earlier. It was trending green, but I was in the negative.
Okay, so you were basically just trading your profit and a loss. And a lot of new traders do that. And you'll just have to practice to break that. So if that's happening to you a lot, you may just not want to get in at the open when it's directional, and wait for the second move. Wait for like as an example, taking a put play right now could be an option for you, because here's my reasoning. We based for a while, and now and we stayed above the CCI, and now we broke it. So now all of a sudden, there may be a decent move coming because this all here is chop. So If it starts to break below the pre-market high, then you can see that, 148's coming, and then the 148.27's coming, and then down here is its support where the green area is. So if it ends up breaking this little area, then you have a downtrending on a 5 minute, you have a downtrending stock, and you could buy a put on that. You could see that we're 80% selling, 78% selling. We have negative 800 ticks. The market breadth is weaker. So all of that with one visual on your chart shows you like a confluence of things, right? They say, make sure you have a couple things going on before you just make your decision. And so this is those couple things all right there on your chart and easy to read. That should help you, make a decision. So hopefully that works out. And you could see the biggest move right now, Jackie, has occurred as soon as it broke the CCI. We're down 60 cents. So this next level right here is at 148.56 because that was the last low candle right here that's next. If it breaks that, then we go to this, you can go to the 148.28 or right down here. And you can see where the trend line is right here. We've got a lot of power lines here, and then, I don't like trading when there's a lot of power lines. I like a nice clear path to profit, whether it be up or down. Okay, let's see. Just thinking.
Any more questions for Sandy, guys? If not, we're gonna pull the plug.
Is it that time already? That seemed to go quick.
We got about 15 minutes, but if nobody,
Oh, it's
everybody
okay.
with their day, Nate today said better luck today scalping NQ using a 10 range chart and tick strike, 91 points. I think I'm done for the day.
There you go.
Just paper, since this is a bit different for me.
Ah. So I got to tell you, Nate, I want to just give you a quick warning, guys. And I met with a client yesterday on a one-on-one, and they were doing, they were basically paper trading a strategy that they were using. And the problem is it looked weird because number one, he was 100% win rate, and he was very excited to get started. And then the next was, when the options, because he was closing the option, and when it closed, it gave him a credit instead of a debit, and he was selling credit spreads, and then he would close for a debit is typically how it's done. So what we did is we went on demand, and we started to research, because on demand is actually correct previous information. So we went on demand and we just mimicked one of his trades, and he was not 100% accurate. And so with that being said, I give you caution on paper trading to go back in your paper trade, find the time and the date that you paper traded, go on demand and mimic that trade. So get into it and then go to your time frame that you exited, and then exit that trade, and then see if it's accurate, so that when you are back testing, you have to be able to use equipment that's actually working to let you know if it's for real or not. I think it's a shame on TDA for allowing that to happen. Because you have all these new traders, right? And they're paper trading. They're like, man, I was born to be a trader. In fact, let me see. I think
Top Notch and I would be willing to say, well, maybe they have it planned that way.
Yeah, right? Oh, of course, Top Notch would say that.
You and I both we're paranoia about stuff. Trader Chris says, what about looking at Chewy? Give us an outlook on that.
Okay. Huh. I'm going to have to read that in full.
Not nicest thing that he needs to dump the triple fuse real quick. I'm not sure what that means. But,
Okay, what kind of trade do you have in Chewy?
let me see what he has to say. Long 28.5 call, 28.5 call. What expiration date?
Well, here is your point of control right here. So it's above point of control. You're sitting right at the 9. You really need it to break resistance, right? And that resistance is being 29.39. And your CCI has stayed positive, but I will tell you that this stock in specific, it's got a red label, which means that the IV is high. So, you know, we created those labels to tell you that if you're in profit, instead of waiting for CCI to get over here, we thought that maybe exiting when you actually hit the plus 100 here would be a good exit point because of the volatility that's involved here. So, but that's your call, you know, just something that we're testing. And you looks like you weathered this and you're coming back.
Did you do a spread in this, Chris, or anything like that, or just a single call, single position? Sandy, I hate to say it this way, but I just love the CCI. Look at CVX and XOM right now while he's doing that. He had a long call, but he missed it, and he just left one runner on. He's trying to decide.
Ah.
So that's good. That, you know, it's not like this is the only thing. He's just cleaning up from his earlier profit. Yeah.
Let's take a look at a longer time frame here. So as we look at a longer time frame, if this is not an intraday type of trade, right? You could, you know, you're right at the 100 level here, and you do have the high IV. So, you know, this could be an exit point for you if you're, you know, if you didn't want to, you know, see if it breaks this, but you have a pretty high resistance area here that goes all the way up to 30.26. But it, you know, it's still up on the 0. You broke through this channel right here on a 15-minute. You broke through the pre-market high, and actually you broke above the actual high pivot of the day. So actually that is actually very strong as far as is it worth keeping. So your next pivot level is right here. So that should be your target. If you were looking for a target to shoot for, it'd be 30.09. And I always suggest getting out at, like, I would get out at 30 on your way up. You'll make more profit doing that. And then you can kind of judge if you want to see, if you want to, you know, continue, because if it makes a higher high, it could go up, you know, more. You could check your CCI and see where you're at that point, and then help you use it on a smaller time frame for your exit. And even smaller. So, I mean, typically speaking, even on a shorter time frame, your support area is 28.61. If you're able to give yourself that latitude, I don't know how much that's going to change in your premium. I hope that kind of helps.
I was talking about the CCI
Yeah.
and how I did not get out earlier from those two petroleum plays, and it just it's amazing
Well,
that
it
in the
opened up. So you were green, you were red overnight, and then it opened up and went above it. And then
right,
you didn't get shaken out here.
right. Well, it went red overnight because I was in it last night. It was still green at 8 o'clock last night.
Right. But
Yeah.
you didn't shake out right here.
No, I did not.
Oh, getting strong, are you?
Either that or my bifocals weren't working good. No, I saw it starting to trend red, but I wanted it to go down a little bit further, and it didn't. And, well, actually, I also started looking at the previous low on the candles,
Yeah,
and when you look at yeah, when I saw that, I thought, well, I can just hang into there.
that's right. And that's, by the way, guys, if you're always looking like, well, where is it going to go next? Just look to your left and see where that next candle is. That's where it can go next. It's an easy way to create a stop for yourself because you know now, right, that a lower low is downtrending and a higher high is uptrending. So if this candle, as an example, goes lower than this candle, well, what's the next step? This candle. And you just keep going to your left like that. And that's your support and resistance, really. So just another good way of looking at where could this go. Because I know, like, when you're new, it's just like, where are these people getting these levels at? I have no idea what they're talking about. And you feel so like, you know, you feel like you don't know anything. Well, just know that these pre-market levels are levels. I mean, there's so many levels and power lines on every chart. And I guess by utilizing those power lines is what I call them, you could kind of see where the next level is. So as this is uptrending, for me to look at it, I would say, okay, the first line of defense right here is your 9 EMA. The second is this pre-market high. Then you got the mid and the low, and then you kind of go from there. So that those are nice directions for you as well. If you're looking for something like that. But nice job, Jay, because on a 5, this thing looks good. And then let's look at it on a 15, which is a roadmap. Ooh, and that was pre-market. So yes, on a 15, this thing just stayed above. And so, nice job.
So this is what I call a paint by numbers. Chris is really the artist that drew this map, and I'm just filling in the blanks. So,
That's awesome. I'm so glad. Let's see.
and then on CVX, Top Notch was the lead guy on that. So
We have
anybody
we got some smart
anybody
people in the group.
who's an experienced trader is knows that that's not true. I'm just working with pros here.
Just other subscribers that are like good traders. I'm so happy. Let's
Yeah.
see, because they really, that's why we're here is to help each other out. So, resistance and then resistance again. So hopefully this will break through this 181.89. This first level right here, it needs to break through. And it just might if it gets above that 0 CC.
Right.
So, SPX 14, just really, kind of, again, still just kind of hanging out. Not, a lot of volume in the market. And something to take in consideration as you're making trades.
Top Notch is showing the volume on put for June 17 Apple the 150 put got 12,000 in volume this morning or today, and 73,000 open interest. That should, if you believe in following a trend, that might be something to look at for those of you who are hesitant. Now, Sandy, do you mind telling us how to do just a quick spread on something like this?
On which one? On which one was it? Apple?
Apple, yeah. The June 17th, so not for this week. It would be out to next week.
So next week, maybe, I would take a look at maybe like a 4 or a 2 hour, 1 hour chart. And they're saying the 150 puts, huh?
Yes.
Well, we're at 150 right now. So whoever is putting that money down is paying like pretty high prices to be paying at the money versus out of the money. So they must really believe that that's going to happen. So, you could just do a spread. The easiest way to do the spread is to go out to the June. You said June 17.
Right.
Just go right at the money, and your volatility is really, really low. So you could take the put spread right here, the 148. Just hit, excuse me, let's go up here to vertical. You go at the money. You're going to buy it. And this is just like buying a put. It's directional and it costs less. And so your reward is also less. So it's going to cost you $40 to get into one contract. And if you confirm it, the most you can make is $61. And the most you can lose is the $39. So that's a 2-to-1. 2-to-1 risk ratio. And then if you, let's analyze that trade really quick and look at it on a graph. Analyze the trade. Let me change my screen. Oh, you can see it. That's good. So here we are right here on the opening day. And you're basically saying that you're thinking that this is just going to go down, and all you need to do is they give you this wedge right here to show you where you start making money. And you start making money as soon as it crosses over that wedge. And as long as you're here at expiration, and as time goes by, because you sold, it's risk defined. So, you bought one and you sold one is the way that it is created, these two legs. And because you sold one, it means that as theta's burning, you're actually making money. So theta doesn't affect you as much when you're in a position like this as if you were in a long put. And so that's why people get into these types of plays when the market is choppy and is just hanging around a certain area. And then one day, right? One day, overnight, Apple will be down $5. And when you wake up and that happens, that's where, all the money is generated, right? But you're still making money as time passes and theta's just passing. That's the nice thing about these plays. So if you wanted to get into it, it's $40. You're just taking you're buying a 148 put and you're selling a 147 put. You can go underneath the vertical spread. They do it there for you. And you can test it out with very little risk.
Mm-hmm. You can jump in the shallow edge.
Yeah, this is the shallow edge of the pool, believe it or not, but can offer you more profit than a call or put. We all like calls and puts, don't get me wrong, but you need a forceful action to make money on a call and put. That's why no one's making money right now on Apple as it's sitting here with its 16, 17 cents hanging out. You know, looks like it's going to the downside already. So that's how you would do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then when you do a butterfly, you kind of have to have a target in mind. So, if we were looking at 1 week out and you were definitely thinking this was going to go down to where? Where's it going to go in a week? Well, it's probably going to go to its support level because here it is. So what you could do then is do a butterfly, something like, you could do it. The wider the butterfly wings, the more expensive it is to create. But you could do a like $2, $3 as an example. So it could be a 143, excuse me, a 140, a 143, excuse me, 140, a 143, and then a 147. And really what you're doing is you're just wanting it to drop to the center strike. But having those other legs and having the middle means that if you have a whole bunch of these types of days where it's 13, 14 cents, it's not going to bother your play. It's not going to bother it one bit. And as it starts to creep down and creep down and creep down, you'll just be making money. Not only in direction, but in time, because you're saying it's going to happen next week. So something to take into consideration. And Chris is going to be posting a lot more of these trades, and I certainly hope that you paper trade them or get into them so that you can, witness how they work, get into it with small size, and just know that they are risk defined. What you pay for that butterfly, what you pay for that debit spread, that is your risk. Well, guys, I hope you like the 2 hours back to back with no breaks. I wish it was more of an eventful day. I guess the real positive of the day right now is that there was no big, well, I guess we had a little pullback. I don't want to look at Apple for that. Let me look at SPX. So 7:15, 7:30 is our mid-morning reversal. And you can see from this area right here, we're just trending lower. But nothing real forceful, so we'll see how we end up today. This could be like a yesterday. I thought it was a nothing to negative day yesterday. And what did we do? We went up 40 points. It was quite shocking. And we just grinded. We just grinded up. It wasn't like it came with a nice force where you could do some scalping and stuff, but you could still make money on, if you just set it and forget it and walk away and have your stops in place.
Okay, Sandy, thank you so much. Let me double check and make sure nobody just asked one question right at the end. Yeah.
All right, and we'll post, let you know if training's going to be tonight or tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow.
Okay, we'll be tomorrow.
Do you only use expected move price targets for earnings play?
Expected price targets. Yeah, I mean, that's, you could do that play. And the other play, too, is to do something more like an iron condor where you're above those expected moves and you're selling premium and you're just saying, I think it's going to stay between these two areas. And you just collect the credit that you received if it stays within that area. So those are the two main plays for earnings.
Okay, that was it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern.